Let me tell you guys about Belly Up Sports. Belly Up Sports is the internet sports bar. Go ahead and check out their website, www.bellyupsports.com, to read some great articles from great writers all across the country, from hockey, baseball, golf, soccer, you name it. Belly Up Sports is the premier, not your average website. We've been putting a lot of focus on this whole, Miami, Barcelona versus Villarreal match and how controversial it has been in La Liga. Now, in the first topic that we had of this, the first time we mentioned that topic, we talked about that also AC Milan is having a match being played in Australia, which is going to be in February. And while I wasn't as vocal about it, and obviously there's some things maybe that you guys are wondering, like, why am I not as vocal of that as I was with Barcelona and Villarreal? One thing, that was going to be an AC Milan home game. So that's where it's very much, to me, is different. Some of you guys are probably like, how is that different? Well, Villarreal needs that home game. That home game is very important to Villarreal. Get any advantage as you can. I understand that Barcelona probably has a good record when it comes to playing in Villarreal, but still, when Villarreal goes into Miami, they're not going to be showered by Villarreal fans. They're going to be showered by Barcelona fans. And for this case, you have AC Milan and Como. Como is a really intriguing team. I think there's definitely a slowly building a following for that club, but it's still not up to there as an AC Milan, especially with obviously a team that has a lot of international players. Ooh, sorry for yawning. And the reason, so that's why I'm a little bit different. Because, yes, taking away a home match from AC Milan, while it still sucks for AC Milan and AC Milan fans, they're more of a global brand. They're more of a global club. So for them, it's going to still be a home match, very much so, for AC Milan. I don't know how big of the fandom is for AC Milan in Australia, but, obviously us knowing Stuart from, our friend Stuart, he is Australian and he supports Liverpool. So it's very much clear that there's going to be a fandom. If you were to say which club would have like a bigger fandom in Australia, like same thing if you were to talk about here in the US, there'd probably be more AC Milan fans than Como fans. So you would probably say it's safe to assume that there's going to be a lot of AC Milan fans than Como fans in Australia as well. Now, and I still think either or, I'm still, as much as I have spoken out about the whole Barcelona Villarreal game being played in Miami, I still see the potential of what that can do. I still get all these things, what La Liga is trying to do. It's not any different than what NFL and the MLB are doing with playing games overseas as well. It's not shocking. It's all about globalizing whatever sport you're trying to globalize. Even though some people are going to argue that especially football, it's already a global sport. There's nothing needed to blow this game up as it is, because it's already the world's game. And I get all those things. But if you're Serie A and you're La Liga and you're trying to gain more revenue, especially when, let's be honest, at the end of the day, the Premier League is what's getting the money. Champions League is what's getting the money. As much as I love La Liga and I want to defend La Liga, as much as people love Serie A and will defend Serie A, they're just not getting that revenue like Premier League is. And so this opportunity for Serie A is to them is big. It's about, once again, going global, especially going to Australia, a market that does have a lot of fandom. They also call football soccer as well. I just want to point that out. And it's just another region that they can reach to. And I think especially when you have AC Milan, which obviously already a big club, but Como, which is intriguing because of the fact that you got Cesc Fabregas managing this team, and there's some pretty interesting players to point out in that Como team as well, especially the way they've been playing lately this season. So I understand why Serie A and why AC Milan would want to go into this endeavor of going and playing in Australia. And then also, I believe there's going to be some Olympic Games, Winter Olympic Games, being played in San Siro. So this kind of works out to Milan's advantage to go to Australia and play over there while their venue is being utilized. So kind of another way to get more money, if you will, if you're AC Milan. But I also understand the backlash. I understand why people don't like this, and obviously the big factor is, especially if you're a Milan fan, if you're a season ticket holder for AC Milan matches, um, you're not going to be able to attend this match unless you go to Australia. Unless you book a ticket to go to Australia, um, that's the only way to do it. So I mean, like, so I get the fan perspective, the local fan perspective of the frustration of not being able to watch AC Milan play. Time zone probably sucks too, and I totally get that part. But I think at the end of the day, it I understand. Like I get at the end of the day, man, money is always just going to be a factor with this game. At this point, yes, the game has become a business. It's unfortunate, but that's really what it is. I don't know. I don't like at this like the argument that that this is a cash grab. Of course, it's a cash grab. Everything is a cash grab now these days. It's not. Nothing is going to be done for free for the sanctity. Like look at concerts. Like look, say what you want about the sport, but music, right? Music is vastly getting more criminally expensive. You know, even for like the smaller shows, it's getting ridiculously expensive. So like, it's funny. Like I think of that clip of Nirvana when they were interviewing Kurt Cobain, and he found out how much ticket prices was to go see Madonna. I believe it was like $50, and they were flipping out on $50. And I mean, obviously, he didn't want to hear how much it costs to go see Nirvana. So like, this is just the reality of it. It is a cash grab. Everything is a cash grab. Everybody's trying to get a slice of the pie. It's no more the days of that. Like, like I would love for it to be about just the integrity of the game, but in reality money makes the world go round. And it's kind of crazy to say that with AC Milan being that they are as big as they are, but that's what it is. And trust me, I get it. I think it makes the most sense to have La Liga matches in Spain. It makes the most sense in the world to have Serie A matches in Italy. I get all those things. But unfortunately, this is not the world we live in. Now, like, don't get me wrong. I am not a fan of the overseas games that the NFL does. I'm not a fan of the overseas game that MLB does. Like for instance, today Sunday, another London game was played. It was LA Rams versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Probably a better game than I'll say it was a better game for me just because I hate the Jacksonville Jaguars. But like I mean, at the same time, like it probably wasn't enjoyable to watch a team get blown out. Like it probably wasn't, and it probably isn't enjoyable either when a game is just field goals. And so like once again, it just goes back to the narrative that NFL just doesn't send good games. Just there's never been. I have yet to have seen a game that I've like, oh wow, this was worth it. Waking up at 9 in the morning to watch this game. Like I still haven't had that sentence said. For local, and I get it, the local fan perspective is not what you want. Once again, that's a home game that someone wanted to go to. That is a home game, which I believe was for Jacksonville. Like a season ticket holder for Jacksonville Jaguars can't get that ticket because obviously, or they would have to fly to England to go watch that game, and they didn't. They can't attend it because once again, it's in England, and they probably put a lot of money on those season tickets to begin with. And now they're going to be one game short of their season ticket package. So like I get all the arguments as to why the frustration part. I understand the whole globalization part. Like I get money and all that. But it does suck. It does. I'm not disagreeing with you. Especially if you're not happy with this. I get it. But at the same time, I also understand the business aspect of it and the opportunity that it could bring in for Serie A. Now, like I said, people are not happy, and the newest person to speak out on this matter is Maignan, who is the goalkeeper and captain of AC Milan. He has now joined along with Cesc Fabregas, who is the manager of Como, and Adrian Rabiot, his teammate in Milan, sharing their discontent. And once again, it's just the whole argument that this is very much a Serie A financial interest that's being prioritized over competitive integrity. And the part of competitive integrity is just that you're taking away a home match from AC Milan. You're taking away Como, a way to, once again, there's not as many Como fans to begin with, but I guarantee you there's probably going to be a good percentage of Como, or a bigger percentage of Como fans going to Milan to go watch their team play against AC Milan in San Siro than they would be in Australia. So like, and I'm not saying that like Fabregas is complaining about them not getting any sort of advantage, because they're not. They're going into the San Siro, but at the same time, you're taking away a chance for fans, local fans, once again, fans from Como, to go to Milan and support their club in San Siro. So there it's very fair arguments. And once again, AC Milan is the team that's going to be losing that home match. So despite the whole like the convenience of the whole Winter Olympics, or whatever, I believe it's the Olympics. So I mean, it's fall, it's February, so I'm assuming it's probably Winter Olympics. But like, there at this point, like what can be done, and once again, like just like how it's very much it's going to happen. Barcelona's going to play Villarreal in Miami. This is very much going to happen. Like AC Milan is going to play Como, and unfortunately, at the end of the day, it's Serie A's call. At the end of the day, both the board of Como and the board of AC Milan agree to this. Like the players may be shocked about it, but at the end of the day, this is something that both boards knew about. They knew that this was happening. They agreed to the terms. They did all the logistics that needed to be done for this to happen. You can't plan this just willy-nilly. Like, this is something that has been premeditated for quite some time, to figure out all the logistics needed to make this match happen, to make sure that I believe it's going to be in Perth, Australia. Make sure that the fields are going to be ready. The stadium's going to have the infrastructure for all the fans that will be attending this match. Like, all those things were already done before making the decision to make it happen. So, and then just once again, the perfect storm for them is the fact that Italy's hosting the Olympics, and San Siro will be the venue for some of the Olympic events. So like, and once again, I'm this isn't me defending Serie A, because I really don't want to defend them, especially what I'm about to read in a bit. But at the end of the day, like it's just the nature of the business, unfortunately. It really just comes down to that. And of course, obviously, Serie A doesn't want to hear that their players are disgruntled. They want to hear them loving the idea of going to Australia, all that good stuff. But unfortunately, like, when you hear criticism and, when it comes to this logic, it's this isn't just a few people. It's not just few people, and I'm sure there's multiple people that feel the same way. They just haven't spoken out just yet. And so Serie A CEO Luigi de Siervo, he responds to the criticism. Initially, this is the response to Rabiot's criticism, which, like, once again, it falls under the lines of, once again, this is a cash grab. This isn't about what is competitively right for the sake of the league. So that within those contexts, this is what he is being spoken about. And so once again, this is directed towards what Rabiot said, nothing to do with Cesc Fabregas, and nothing that has to do with Maignan. But Rabiot forgets, like all footballers who earn millions of euros, that they're paid to do something, namely play football. He should be respectful of the money he earns and more accommodating of his employer, AC Milan, who accepted and pushed for this match to be played abroad. The organizational challenge is complicated. The flight hours are long, but you're traveling business class to the other side of the world, something teams regularly do. Top footballers whose salaries are commensurate with the effort they put in should understand better than others that this is a sacrifice that can be made. Essentially, and someone can correct me on, can probably, like, maybe has a different viewpoint from what I just read or from this quote, but essentially what Luigi said to Rabiot was just to shut up and dribble. Like, you have the privilege to play this game, and it's right. He's right. They do have this privilege to play this game, because not many people can get to say, can go out to the world and say, hey, I get paid to kick around a ball. I get paid to play a game, a kid's game that we played growing up. Like, I get paid to play this. Like, this is my job. This is my 9 to 5. Like, this is, Some go to an office. My office is a locker room. Like this is so he makes those points like, oh yeah, you guys get paid, like, and it's at the end of the day, and it's unfortunate, but yes, you signed a contract. You signed a contract to that you will do whatever AC Milan tells you to do in some aspect. I'm not quoting it correctly, but like essentially like this is all part of your contract. Like I understand that yes, the traveling is going to suck. Yes, all these aspects. Once again, this is things that we talked about with the whole Barcelona and Villarreal game being played in Miami. Those are all things that generally does suck. But at the end of the day, both these in some even playing field, you can say, both are going through it. They're both going to have to endure the travel. They're both going to have to try to, get used to the time zone that is Australia, and the weather of Australia. What that weather is like. I don't know. I've never been to Australia, so like that's all going to come encompass. But both are going to go through it, and I don't like the whole thing about you make millions of euros to namely play a game. Like you should be respectful of the money that he earns. It like, look, and this is, I think this is just something coming from my time in the Marine Corps. Like, yes, my job was to follow all lawful orders that were given to me and execute. That's very true. But I can still complain. Everyone has the right to complain. That at the end of the day, complaining is still very much a whole thing. Like the Marines complain a lot. I can tell you for a fact because I was in the Marines and I complained a lot. Like you can be disgruntled. That is perfectly fine. And what these guys are, they're very much disgruntled. They don't want to go to Australia. But guess what? Yeah, but you are absolutely right, Luigi. At the end of the day, if they tell the players that they have to go in, get on that plane, fly to Australia, they're gonna have to fly on that plane and go to Australia. At the end of the day, that's what they did because that, unfortunately, at the end of the day, you signed that contract and you agreed to the terms of that contract. And when you agreed to those terms, that meant that you would also abide to whatever is asked of you as a player of AC Milan, as a player of Como. You're absolutely right. So it is what it is, man.
Who is that guy?